y'all. It's Karen and
Pluto.
here with Karen and Bluto's on another review channel with another movie review. It's been a long week. I haven't been able to talk right all week.
You can't talk anytime when you're on here.
Pretty much. So, our feature presentation tonight is Valentine.
Oh, cool. I like this.
From 2001. I couldn't read my handwriting. Rated R. It's an hour 35.
Not bad.
Yeah, actually, I didn't remember a lot of this movie till it got further in. Like, I knew I had seen it
I remember some of it.
previously, but, like, it had been a very long time since I had watched it. So, we ready?
I guess you're going to be the one explaining.
Okay. So, the opening scene, there's, like, a middle school Valentine's Day dance going on, and there's this nerdy, I guess is the best way, geeky-looking kid who's walking around asking all these girls to dance and getting rejected. And eventually one of the girls agrees to dance with him. Later, they're kissing behind the bleachers, and a bunch of guys start teasing. So this girl gets embarrassed and says no, that he attacked her and that, you know, she didn't want any part of it. So they pulled him out from under the bleachers and basically beat him up. This character's name, the geeky kid, is Jeremy. And also they pan over to someone wearing a Cupid mask at the dance.
That mask is funny.
Keep it in mind.
Not as cool as Michael Myers, but hey.
So, we come to 13 years later.
13.
So, everybody...
Unlucky.
Probably like, 20-somethings, I guess. And we meet up with this girl, Shelly, who's on a blind date that's not going too well.
What year did it start?
It doesn't say what year it started.
So it could be 2014 now.
No, I think probably what it might have been like, let me think here. 91.
Oh, minus, okay.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to think. So like 1988 maybe. I'm not sure, even though it didn't look like styles from the 80s.
I was going to say, it didn't look like 88.
No.
Okay, moving on, sorry.
So anyways, this girl Shelly's on this date with this guy who talks in the third person.
Shelly, the prankster.
Yeah. No, not that Shelly.
Oh, okay.
But this guy's like, Jason likes what he sees, and Jason this, and Jason that. And I'm like, dude, shut up.
You thought he was hot.
No, he was annoying. So she basically kind of ends the date and leaves. And Shelly is in medical school. So she goes back to one of the medical buildings or whatever. She's
the chick from Bride of Chucky, right?
No.
That's not her?
Oh yeah, it is her. I'm sorry, Katherine Heigl. Sorry, I was thinking Jennifer Tilly. That's why when you said the girl from Bride of Chucky, that's what threw me off.
That's somebody very different.
Yeah, that's what threw me off. Anyways, she starts practicing on a cadaver. She's like talking to the cadaver.
That's what you would do.
Yeah, probably. I talk to myself constantly at work.
To the dog.
Yeah, I talk to Chloe. I talk to Bluto. I sometimes talk to my husband.
Your imaginary husband.
My imaginary, yeah.
Okay, moving on.
Anywho, she hears a noise when she gets startled. She goes, and apparently it's one of her peers, basically. He was just like...
That's a funny word.
Yeah. He's just like, oh, hey, you saying you practice? And she's like, yeah, I'm just saying I want to practice. I guess they have some big exam or something coming up where they have to...
The final exam.
That's
another movie.
I don't know what's going on. Anyway, she goes back to the cadaver. Or no, she starts walking away and finds a Valentine card on her locker. Yeah, I got confused.
We watched this like 2 weeks ago.
And it's like an old-fashioned type Valentine, but it's not very nice. And what it says is basically like roses are red, violets are blue.
One is dead and so are you.
Yeah, basically. Something along those lines. It's just like, okay. Valentine. Oh.
Sorry.
I can't remember what was in this one, but it's not a very... It basically implies like, hey, I'm coming to get you and you're going to be dead. So she's like, okay, whatever. So she goes back to where she left her cadaver on the table. And right when she's getting ready to cut into it, it starts breathing. So naturally, she gets scared, backs up, finds the cadaver in like a closet behind her. And the killer takes the blanket off. It's somebody in a Cupid mask. So they are, she's running. The killer's trying to find her.
So that mask was saved for like 13 years.
Yeah, apparently. Either that or they found it on eBay.
Is eBay around then? Oh, well.
I think.
Okay.
I'm being sarcastic.
Sorry.
Or Amazon. Who knows? Anyways, I keep wanting to say Catherine because that's the actress's name. Shelley eventually comes across a room where there's all these bodies, cadavers, and body bags. So she goes and hides in one of them. Killer basically finds her and stabs her through, and that's the end of Shelley. So we go to two of our other characters, Kate and Paige. Kate, I think the one playing Kate's been in a few things, but Paige is played by Rebecca Romaine. They're walking around kind of discussing relationships. They do this.
Rebecca Romaine? Okay.
Yeah, Rebecca. Well, I don't know if she was married to John Stamos still at that point. I think it just said Rebecca Romaine.
Okay. That was the one that was in Urban Legends.
Yeah, I think. No, that was Rebecca Greyhart.
Yeah, isn't that her?
No.
Okay, sorry.
No, it's Denise Richards. Sorry.
See, I knew you were screwing
I was like, oh my God. Anyways. Kate and Paige go to do this turbo dating thing that's like absolutely like ridiculous.
Turbo.
So they end up
Rangers.
Afterwards. They end up leaving. Paige kind of hits it off with one of the guys that's talking to Kate. I'm just telling you this because it comes into play later. So as they're leaving, they get a phone call, and then it cuts to Shelley's funeral. Everyone's kind of there. Kate has a boyfriend named Adam, but they're kind of on a break, I guess, because Adam has some drinking issues, and she's basically like, you know what, you need to get yourself together, so on and so forth.
Yeah, that'll help him get better. I'm dumping you.
Yeah. So
glug.
It turns out then we meet Lily. Lily, I believe her name is. Yeah.
Oh, the blonde one.
Yeah. We meet Lily and Dorothy at this point too, and apparently this whole group, they went to high school together. Keep that in mind. And they've been kind of friends since then. But yeah. So, but the police are like at the funeral, and they start talking to them, and they're like, well, we really haven't seen Shelley much in over a year or two because she's been busy with medical school. So, and they're talking about this guy that she was on the date with, Jason. He's missing. They're trying to find him because he's the main suspect. So, Dorothy, who's our little rich snot, gets home, and there's a Valentine's card waiting for her that's kind of the same, like, hey, I'm coming to get you. So, and then Dorothy kind of, there's a whole situation there. It's not important.
Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Get to the exciting stuff.
Then we cut away to Kate, who's having water issues in her apartment. She ends up dipping her hair in the toilet to rinse it out.
Oh, that was funny.
And then all of a sudden, like, her apartment door opens, so she kind of freaks out. She goes walking down the hall, finds a Cupid mask stuck in the elevator, like keeping it from closing. And then weird. She has a creepy neighbor, but that's another story.
The red herring.
Right. Then we cut to Lily, who was in Urban Legend 2. I can't think of what her name is. She's been in a few other things. She's actually kind of funny. She plays like goofy blondes and everything.
Like you.
But Lily is sitting there watching dating videos, and Paige is at, I don't know if they're at Lily's apartment, or no, Lily and Paige share an apartment, so they're hanging out. There's a knock on the door, and there's a Valentine's heart with a rose sitting in the hall. And it says something, I don't remember what it says, but it says Love JM. So they're trying to figure out who it's from.
Jason Myers.
Yeah, I think they say a bunch of different names, and then they mention this Jeremy somebody from middle school. And they're like, oh, what would make you think of him? So Lily's like, well, then fine, this is for me if you're not saying it's from you. Well, she goes to eat the candy, and there's all these maggots inside the candy.
I wouldn't even eat unwrapped candy.
Right. So, I have a note here, big time product placement, I think, throughout the movie.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, I think I just put product placement because I was losing track. So they're kind of talking about what they did to Jeremy. Oh, it says in 6th grade. Okay, so it was, middle school 6th grade dance. I know they talked to... No, it's later. Well, Lily and Kate and Paige go to some art exhibit for Lily's, I guess it's her boyfriend, Max. It's a very, very strange... I mean, like, I don't know. He even says about, well, you guys don't like it and all that, and I can't even figure out what's going on with this. So,
I don't remember this part.
I have Dorothy and Campbell at event.
We watched this too long ago.
Yeah.
We'll just get to the part where.
Anyways,
the cool part. Get to the cool part. The one I like.
one part of the whenever they start going through the event is ladies go to one side, men go to the other. Because it's like I said, just watch it. I can't even explain it.
I'll get to the part.
Lily and Max eventually are making out in the one part. And all of a sudden, this other girl shows up and she's like, "Excuse me, who the hell are you?" And he's like, "Well, I thought you'd be up for a little something, something three-way." And she basically gets mad, pushes Max away, and starts walking through the exhibit by herself, gets lost. So she comes to one part, and all of a sudden, our Cupid friend shows up, shoots her with an arrow through the heart. She falls over the railing into the dumpster down
That's
below.
the part I like.
And the thing is, and I forgot to mention this, with when Shelley was killed, his nose, every time the killer does something, his nose bleeds. So it bled after he killed Shelley, and it starts bleeding after Lily's killed.
I like when chicks end up in the dumpsters in movies.
So, Campbell. This is Dorothy's boyfriend, so to speak. I'm using that term loosely. All of a sudden, the only reason why it finally clicked on me, I have Campbell fighting with some woman. Basically, it comes down, I can't remember, I did get her name later, but Campbell, who's with Dorothy, who's crashing at her place, this woman shows up and starts fighting with him, and she's like, "Oh, are you the, like, flavor of the week, better watch your wallet," and all that. So, Kate and Adam kind of are talking, and Kate's updating Adam on everything that goes on. They end up meeting with the police again after that, and they're like, "Well, who would do this? Who would do that?" And they mentioned Jeremy Mellon, it looks like I wrote down, from middle school. And he's like, "Okay, well, I'll look into it." Well, the cop also asked, "Where's Lily?" And Lily was supposed to have left for some business trip out to California, so they're like, "She's not available."
I remember they mentioned that earlier, but okay.
Yeah. So, then we cut away to the killer is in Kate's apartment. He grabs the iron, assuming, because he hears somebody in the bathroom or her bedroom, and here it's the creepy neighbor, like, trying on Kate's underwear.
Ooh, baby.
And
how'd it look?
The killer kills the guy with the iron and basically gets in and out before Kate comes walking in and Paige is in the bathroom. And anyway, so Dorothy calls, and Campbell had been picked up by the police, and then he was, I guess, released, told not to leave town, so somehow they got Campbell's name in the middle of all this. Then I have a part of here that Dorothy and Campbell try to get it on, but it doesn't work out. Apparently, he can't get it up. And at this part, too, it kind of comes out that Campbell is trying to steal money from Dorothy's father's account. And then they're getting ready because Dorothy, I guess, has a big Valentine's party every year. So they're getting ready for that.
A Valentine's bluff.
Yeah. Anyways.
I may reference my buddy Valentine. Sorry. That movie's better.
Dorothy, they're having issues with the hot water heater at the main house. So she calls through the intercom system, asks him to fix the water heater. And he's already aggravated at this point because he's not able to steal money from Dorothy's father. So he goes and goes, "Fine, I'll just be your hired helper." He's griping. Well, he goes to fix it. Killer shows up behind him, grabs an axe, and no more Campbell.
Well, he asked for it.
Yes, he did. So I have a note here, party time. So literally it cuts to, there's the party going on. Dorothy's upset because Campbell's not there. Paige calls the Brian she met from the turbo dating thing. And Paige invites him to come to the party just so she has somebody to hang with.
Yeah, there wasn't enough people there anyway.
Yeah. Well, they end up going upstairs, and he basically is like, shows Paige his junk. And he tells her,
garbage, huh?
He tells her to wax it. I'm like, yeah, that's a good way to get
wax my junk.
Yeah, that's exactly what it says. I'm like, yeah, that's going to get somebody in the mood. So she kind of decides to get revenge, ties him to the bed, and then dumps candle wax on him and leaves.
And you never see what happens to him next.
Yeah, because I don't think anything else happens with him. But then
maybe it was a deleted scene.
Who knows? Well, then Lily's boyfriend Max shows up at the party asking if Kate knows where Lily is. She's like, she's out in San Diego or something. And he goes, no, she's not. She never showed up. Oh, L.A. Los Angeles.
Whatever.
So
Somewhere around that
Kate's
area.
kind of like, okay, that's weird. So the girl that was bugging Campbell showed up. The girls take her and escort her out. When she comes back in, she starts sneaking around trying to find items I guess she can take that are in the house that Campbell has to kind of replace money or property he stole from her. So all of a sudden the killer shows up. The killer didn't show up yet. She hears all this noise, so she starts sneaking down this back staircase. And she's trying to get away. All of a sudden the Cupid killer comes walking through another door, and he had killed the maid.
The Cupid killer.
The Cupid killer. I don't know what else to call him. And
That's funny.
So she's like, oh, and they start, chasing, fighting. She's like, I'm not going to say anything. I'll leave, whatever. She knocks him over the head with a pull cue.
Pew.
Yeah.
That's something completely different.
Yeah, I know. I was combining pew. See, you got me saying it. Pull and cue. So eventually she goes downstairs. She hides in the sauna. She finds Campbell's body in there. So she tries to leave the sauna. The killer happens to find her, throws her through this glass shower, and then shoves her head through the broken glass. So that's a pretty cool scene.
Creative kills.
Yeah, to say the
Boring.
least. So the police the one head detective calls Kate and says they had to let Jason, they had captured Jason Marquette, which was the person that Shelley was out on a date, but they had to let him go because they didn't have enough evidence.
I remember.
And he's on her way. Well, Kate says Lily never arrived in Los Angeles. He goes, okay, just stay where you're at. I'm coming. Adam had shown up in the middle of all this too. Well, Kate finds Adam drinking and basically gets mad at him. Is like, what, screw you. So Paige kind of walks through and she's grabbing alcohol and she's like, I just want to be alone. Brian sucked. So she goes to hang out in the hot tub. Nice hot tub. I love the setup with this.
Not as cool as our setup, but it's cool.
Yeah. But basically while Paige is like getting drunk, hanging in the hot tub, the killer sneaks in. She thought she hears something. She's looking around. She doesn't find anybody. Then she finds a rose by the wine bottle. She's looking around. What did I have the killer throw? Oh, the killer finds her, throws Paige back into the hot tub and closes the top. And he starts drilling through the plastic top. And then eventually he opens the top and throws the drill in.
That killer comes prepared.
Yeah. And then he electrocutes her and ends up blowing all the power at the house, which causes everyone to leave. Because they're like, oh, well, party's over.
Good way to clear out everybody.
Really. So Kate connects with Dorothy shortly thereafter, and they start arguing because she's upset about Campbell, and she's like, you just don't want me to be loved. You just don't want me to be this. So the long and short, I should have brought up here is
a fat chick.
All the girls that are in this are the ones that were at the beginning. And Dorothy is actually the girl that was kissing Jeremy and kind of said, no, he attacked her. So the police never found anything about Jeremy. He kind of dropped off the face of the earth. So Dorothy gets upset and just walks away. So Kate gets her phone. She starts calling Vaughn, who's the police officer that she talked to earlier. And she's outside and she hears his phone ringing. Outside, like, okay, well, maybe he's here. So she starts looking. She finds his phone over by this koi pond, I guess it is, little fish pond thing, waterfall. So she goes to grab the phone, and all of a sudden Vaughn's head floats to the surface. And then there's also a note that she had given Adam earlier in the movie.
Good thing he had that.
Yeah, that was in the water. So naturally, Kate starts suspecting that Adam is the killer.
Or she knew that note was in the
So
blah, 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 blah.
Kate goes back in the house trying to find Dorothy and everyone else and Paige to get out of there because she's like, we're not safe. So Adam comes and finds Kate and he asks her to dance. He's like, I'm sorry, I'm trying to make up. So they're dancing. Well, she knees him in the crotch and she takes off trying to find the other girls. So she ends up eventually down the back staircase.
The back staircase.
Yeah, the back staircase that other chick went down earlier. I think in between all this, she did find Paige dead as well and can't find Dorothy.
I don't remember.
Adam follows Kate to try to talk to her. She starts finding bodies. She goes to Dorothy's dad's study to grab a gun that Dorothy mentioned was in there.
Good
She
choice.
starts to go upstairs.
Whoa!
Ooh,
What
crap.
are you doing?
I bumped the light. She starts to go back upstairs,
Wow.
and all of a sudden, the killer in the Cupid mask is standing there. So they both fall down the steps. And I think in the middle of all this, the killer starts getting up. Adam comes down the steps and shoots the killer, and they unmask the killer, and it's Dorothy. So Adam gets Kate upstairs, like, we need to call the police. So as they're waiting for the police to come, they're discussing why Dorothy would have done this. And he's like, sometimes if you're lonely, he's going on saying, like, if you're lonely, and sometimes this is the only way you can get attention, da da da. So Kate's leaning against Adam's chest, and they're just talking, and I think she says, "I love you, Adam," and he's like, "I've always loved you." And then as they're waiting, his nose starts bleeding. The end.
How romantic.
So, like I said, initially, like I said, I think the first time we watched this, I can't remember if I thought it was Adam or not with this. Like I said, I don't honestly remember, because I probably would watch this a year or two after it came out. At one point, it's not a bad movie, and I do think it has high rewatch value. Because, like I said, even though I haven't seen it in many years, I enjoyed watching it again. And it was like, as it was going, I was like, okay, I do remember this part. Okay, I do remember, it was coming back to me, because I know I hadn't seen it in several years. What'd you think, Bluto?
I liked it. I think it got lumped into all those other ones that were bad.
Right.
And if it would be made now, it would be PG-13 and nothing cool.
Probably. I think that was part of the problem with this, too, is like it got lumped into like all the movies around that time with, the Screams, I Know What You Did Last Summer.
And all the spoofs.
Yeah, and Scary
Shriek
Movie.
If You Know What I Did on the Summer, Friday the 13th,
there's 50 million.
On Elm Street.
Yeah, so I mean, it's a decent movie. I mean, like I said, it definitely
great, but it's cool.
Right. I mean, you can enjoy it even if you just watch it once. But like I said, it's a movie. Even though I haven't seen it in years, I know I watched it several times, so I feel it has a high replay value. A lot of the actors in it are great. David Bornstein, I think his name is. He played Angel on Buffy the Vampire Slayer, and Angel the series. He was on Bones, and he's currently on, what's that show? SWAT? No, that's somebody else.
You're full of information.
Yeah, he's on. I can't think of the name of the show he's on now, because I don't watch it. But I mean, I enjoy him as an actor too, so it's kind of interesting seeing him in this role as well. But even though I know he was kind of bad at one point on Buffy as well. But like I said, I think it has,
I don't know,
high watchability, high rewatch. Watch it with your loved one for Valentine's Day.
Or your hated one.
Yeah. So I think that is it. Unless you have anything else to add, my friend.
What would you give it? A to F. What would you give it? Great.
Probably a solid C.
Okay, yeah, I'll give it a C+. But I kind of like the kills.
Yeah, I mean, the kills in this are unique as well, so I think that's what makes it kind of memorable as well, because...
It's just not somebody getting stabbed with a knife off screen.
Right. I mean, that's a big thing. Like, if there's unique kills in the movie, I enjoy it.
The axe was not unique, but it was still cool.
Right, but I mean, like, the shower, At
least they showed the axe.
The hot tub, killing at the end with the gun, that's kind of typical, but
that was a good twist.
Yeah, that's a good twist. You don't suspect it. I don't know if they were setting this up for a sequel or not, but...
I would like to see one, but not now, because it'd be dumb.
So...
They'll just remake it now.
Yeah, that's about it. Everything's remake. So that's it. Please remember to like, comment, subscribe, bell icon so you know when we post new content. Share the page. It'd be greatly appreciated. Also, check out... Well, Bluto's not on there as much as I am, but... K-Doll Games, Toys, and More, my kind of toy and game and doll movie and some other odd and end thing channel. It's a featured channel. If you can't find it, let me know. I'll post the link. Subscribe. That would be awesome. Amazon wish list is posted. I will have the link down in the description if you want to help. That would be great. I think we're still adding some movies to it. We just kind of have a decent sized base list going right now. Oh, and FYI, we don't own this movie. I rented it off a DVD through Netflix in case you're looking for it. We didn't find it on like Hulu, Netflix, or Amazon Prime. So that's it. You have anything else to add?
Yeah, make sure you comment.
Yeah, comment. We're not getting any comments, and
Karen goes on the computer and then she starts crying, and I'm like, "What's the matter?"
No, I don't.
I'm not getting any comments.
I'm just looking. I'm like,
Nobody wants
oh,
to
no
talk to me.
comments. But
Please,
you guys, if you
please.
guys comment, I will interact.
Yep, she likes to do that.
So that's it. We'll see you next one. Bye.
Bye.